Mr. Miles Hudson to the stand.
Come on up here, Mr. Hudson. Raise your right hand, please. Okay, do you swear or affirm that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
All right, have a seat. State your full name for the record, and please spell your last name.
Miles Oliver Hudson.
Spell
And then
last name,
please spell your last name.
Hudson.
All right. Proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Hudson, how old are you?
Right now I'm 22.
Okay. And February 2024, how old were you in 2024?
Judge relevance.
Sustained.
I want to ask you just some general questions about yourself.
Copy.
So you're 22 years old?
Yeah.
And so, are you from Washington?
From Seattle. I'm from the South End.
Okay. And we watched a video that shows you and two other Dodge Chargers, what looked like to be racing. Do you recall looking at the video?
Yeah, I'll call it.
Okay. February 2024, between the dates of February 1st or February 24th, 2024, were you racing?
Hell, sorry, no.
We're on the stand, and so we're not going to say any curse words. Agreed?
I'm sorry about that.
Okay. February 2024, your answer is no, you weren't racing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And I'm sorry to stop you. Because it's a recorder, it needs to be yes or no.
Okay.
So, I can tell you.
Gotcha.
I can hear what you're saying, but I can tell you the record can
Okay.
distort that.
Okay.
But yes or no, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, I was not.
Thank you.
Okay. And I like that you're speaking up. We're able to hear you. We watched a video where it's you and two other Dodge Chargers. If you weren't racing, explain what are we seeing in that video?
So the journey everyone just saw with that video, y'all saw the final result of, me and the homies. I'm a content creator, bro. I gotta entertain people, Not to get into it, I don't want to get off, into any irrelevant things, but I wasn't doing good things to get money, So started doing content creation when I was, I guess how old I am.
It's already come out that you're 22.
Okay, well, back then, that's what I'm talking about. So, back then, I wasn't, at first I wasn't, doing marketing to get money. Started doing content creation. I realized, you can make a living, you can go crazy like that. So I had to entertain people. You all saw the end result of, I would say like a movie. So, yeah.
You have to entertain people. At any point, we had witnessed that you had showed an officer your followers. Do you recall showing an officer a follower?
Yeah.
What's a follower? What does that mean? Help me understand what that
Follow
was.
Someone who watches you and just keeps up with you and likes your videos and stuff.
And we heard testimony that you have a social media account,
Yeah.
SRT Miles.
Yeah.
What is that?
My social media page where I post all my stuff.
Okay, on your social media page, is that like Instagram? Is it
yeah.
TikTok? Help me
Instagram.
understand. It's an Instagram
Yeah, Instagram.
account. Okay, and on that is where you have a number of followers?
Yeah.
And so when you say a content creator, what is a content creator? Help me understand what that is.
So you gotta entertain people, bro. So, you're basically like, some people don't take to an extort, but like with me, like there's a little, not crazy production, but there's a little production to it, little rehearsals. Like for example, like the video you guys saw, like, I had the homies pull up, we staged like some Need for Speed. I can't swear, I'm sorry. We staged some Need for Speed stuff, so a content creator, someone who entertains, make it, and come off it that way.
Okay. You said a lot, so I'm going to try to unpack it. For content creation, how do you come up with the topics of what you're going to do? Is that a process, or does someone tell you what content?
I mean, like, I'm in a group chat and stuff, but like a lot of my content is solo too. But you know, we come up with ideas, you know, and we'll film it like.
I'm gonna object to this for relevance grounds.
Overruled.
Please tell us about your friends. What were you saying?
You asked the question. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and
Oh.
ask the question.
Yes. I was asking about the content creation and the topics, of how you come up with it. You had stopped with saying you and your friends.
Okay, so you know, I do a lot of solo stuff, but I do stuff, you know, with like a group of people too. So basically, we'll come up with like, think of it as like scenes, like just stuff you know people watch. You know, a lot of the homies are car guys and stuff, so you know, we came up with some Need for Speed stuff. We had to, you know, film it like legally, but we had to, you know, there's a lot of After Effects and like post-production like stuff you gotta do.
Need for Speed. This Need for Speed, is that what you're referencing? This video is that was played before the jury?
Yeah.
This was a Need for Speed content?
Yeah, concept. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm still talking about the video.
Okay.
How do you do the timing of when you post? Content creation, is there like a schedule? How did you shared that you come up with the topics? When do you post what videos you've created? What's that process?
Well, like when I film it, like when do I post it?
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll come up, film the video, take like, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of my videos take, you know, a couple hours, whatever. At first, you know, when I was smaller, 100,000, 200,000 followers, I was doing, you know, small edits myself, whatever. But, you know, I hired an editor, like, let's say like 360K, something like that, something around there. So, you know, I'll release in the video log, but what I do is I'll like pump videos into like I'll get them out and then I'll send them to my editor. And then like I'll basically just have like a vault of videos, you know, like right now I haven't been posting for a while. So like I have like videos from like October of like 2023, like when I first got my car and stuff. So like, yeah.
Okay, I heard
like I answered that really wrongly, like.
I heard you. Let me see if I can try to unpack it. I heard you say you've got a number of videos in a vault.
Absolutely.
Explain to me, help me understand what that means.
So like on my SD card, like basically I film a whole bunch of videos and then like throughout the year I'll disperse the videos.
So when you post it, doesn't mean that that's when the video was actually reached its final production. Is that correct?
No.
No. Explain what do you mean by no?
Ask that one more time. I'm coming off of sickness.
When you post it.
Okay. When I post my videos.
Is that done on the same day that your video was created?
No.
Okay.
Not even like near it, because you know there's a process you gotta send on. Like I said, I have an editor and stuff, but you gotta send all your clips, and then he'll take however you get them on, and then once you film it, you just kind of keep going. So like, you know, you'll film other stuff, and you kind of forget about it. You see, looking, you know, your SD of just videos, done videos, you know, send me the, you know, Google Drive and stuff, and I just got like a whole bunch of edited videos that I just posted.
Okay. For this Need for Speed video, you had stated that you hired an editor.
Not for the video specifically, but once I got to a certain size and I couldn't like, I mean, I could edit all my videos, but it was just more efficient to film the videos and have them edited, you know? Okay. So, yeah.
So for this video with the red Charger and the other Charger, there were some edits.
Yeah.
If it wasn't racing, Help me understand what Officer Murphy was testifying to when he said this.
Objection, Your Honor. Commenting on another witness's testimony.
Sustained.
Yes. If it wasn't racing, when we see in the speedometer a digital reading of 107 miles per hour, if you weren't going 107 miles per hour, help me understand, what are we looking at in that video?
Okay, so you're looking at the finished product of, the video. So absolutely not, I was not driving 100 and something. I got that car when I was 20 years old. I don't know if I'm supposed to say my age, but that was my first crazy car, and I love that car. I would never die like that. It's crazy.
Okay, so help me understand. We see in the speedometer 107 miles per hour.
Okay, so what's that?
In making a video and your content creation, how do you get a speedometer to read 107 miles per hour?
Okay, so like I told you, this video in particular was edited by my editor, but I used to edit, when I was smaller, I used to edit on my videos. It's a simple mouse. It's like basically an overlay.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay, speculation.
I think he's testifying to what he would do in editing a video. Did I
He's
misunderstand
testifying
that?
to what somebody else did to the video.
I'm understanding him to testify what he did. Maybe I misheard that. Re-ask the question and let him start over.
Yes. On the speedometer, we're seeing in the video, it says 107 miles per hour.
Yeah.
You stated that you weren't racing, that the car did not go 107 miles per hour.
Absolutely not.
Help me understand your knowledge of how can we see in a video it say that on a speedometer if it really wasn't going on that. What's that process if you're aware of how to do that?
It's a simple mask. So essentially what you do is you blur out whatever number that is. Like let's say on the speedometer, let's say it's 15. You not blur, but you kind of blend it with the background, and then you add your mask. It's a dynamic mask, and you can change the numbers. It's a simple editing process.
You had stated that you've edited. What are some of the tools that you use in editing?
At first I used DaVinci, but right now I use Premiere Pro, and some things I use in editing like sound effects, heavy on the effects. That's why the car will sound remotely near that. You can download it on your MP3. Put it on your editing software and just change it to whatever you like.
On this day, with the red Charger and the other Charger, did you know them?
Yeah.
And did you know what you were going to say when you saw them? When you saw them?
It was a skit. It was rehearsed.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean it was a skit? It was rehearsed. What do you mean by that?
I mean, they don't just in the video you saw with the Nerf guns and the ski out, hanging out the car. Obviously that's not real life. To be an entertainer, you gotta make it look real, and you gotta entertain.
Okay, so that was a pre-written script.
Yeah, skit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there were props. We saw a orange and white plastic thing.
Yeah.
What was that?
A blaster, the little Nerf gun.
A
Yeah.
Nerf gun. Was that part of the script, part of the story?
Absolutely.
Did you just so happen to randomly run into two other Chargers that night and happen to say, hey, do you want to race? Was that a random?
No. It was part of the skit. So.
We heard sound effects.
Yeah.
Describe for me your knowledge of how to do a sound effect. What is that process? What does that entail?
You download whatever sound effects you want. So, you can go on YouTube or any just website with sound effects. You download it, and then you import it into your editing software.
Now, we could hear your voice, but we couldn't see your face. The video shows holding a phone. No, it doesn't show holding a phone. The video shows the vantage point.
Like the point of view.
Yes. Would you drive at 107 miles while holding a phone?
Absolutely not.
Tell me more about that. Why would you not do that?
I mean, to anyone who doesn't know, Hellcats are rear wheel drive cars. You need like both hands on the steering wheel if you're going at crazy speed. And that's my baby. Like what? So with the vantage point, so like if I'm recording myself, I obviously can't have two hands on the wheel. So yeah.
Okay. No further questions.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Couple of questions for you here. Your name is Miles Oliver Hudson.
Yes.
All right. And that was, and we watched a couple of videos you interacting with Officer Murphy and Officer Vaga on March 20th, March 27th, right? That's you in those videos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's you sitting in the Dodge Charger, colloquially known as the Hellcat, right? In those videos?
The Dodge Charger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the video that we watched that was from your Instagram account, that's also your video, right?
The video you watched?
Mm-hmm. That we all watched together.
The first and second one?
The one where that Miss Davis was just talking to you about.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
fine, yeah.
That's your video.
Yeah.
That's your voice in the video.
Yeah.
Right. That's your vehicle in the video.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said that video was not filmed on February 24th of 2024, right?
Is that the day I posted it?
Yeah.
No, it was not
Okay.
filmed.
When did you film it?
I'm gonna be honest, probably early March.
Of 2023?
No, I got the car. No. Probably, I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't really tell you, but if I were to assume, probably like early March or late. Oh, I'm tripping. March is after that. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. I'm coming off of sickness.
It's all right.
So that video, yeah, because I can't film it before, I posted, so obviously that was wrong. Sorry. Can you ask me the question again?
Yeah, did you film it in February?
No.
Film it in January?
I could have filmed it in January because I know it was around, the end of the holidays and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, late December, early January.
Possibility.
Okay. But it was in 2024 that you filmed that video.
If it was late December, it was 2023, but if it was January, it obviously would have been 24, yes.
Okay, thank you. And it's your testimony today that the video that we watched all together in court multiple times is edited.
Absolutely.
That it is a feature film, essentially.
I'm not going to say if I have the production of the movies, me and my friends, trying to entertain some people, make a couple bucks.
Right.
Hey,
In your Instagram, you hold yourself out to be someone who is very passionate about these cars, right?
Yeah.
Who likes to drive fast, right?
It's persona, but
A certain persona, right?
Yeah,
That's the content you're
persona.
trying to create,
yeah.
right? And that's what your followers expect to see from you.
Not necessarily, my two most popular videos have nothing to do with my car, unless the views of my being fluctuate last time I checked. But there's a good amount of people that follow me for the car content. I have to, provide them the content, and
Right.
I have to make the movie.
Right, but the content that you are saying today is made up. Is that right?
I'm not saying the whole video was made up. I'm talking about the racing aspect and me walking up to them with shiesties and they have, the jail blaster and the gun. It's not. It's made up, but it's a skit. I'm not saying it didn't happen. It's a skit.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that clarification. Now, you didn't actually do the editing yourself, though, right?
I'm gonna be honest. So.
Like, that was your testimony, is that you sent it off to an editor.
No, yeah, I sent it off to an editor, but the editor doesn't know what I have to tell him. I don't go and tell him, hey, pick this song, if they pick this, but I have to tell him what I want.
Okay.
Because I know those there's a lot of cut out from those clips, but that was probably it was a lot of footage.
Okay. And so just a couple more questions. Your Instagram handle is srt.miles. That's yours?
It is and was. I just left out the dot, but But
Okay, so it's SRT Miles.
Yeah, SRT Miles, no doubt. Yeah.
And that's where you posted all of this content here that we watched in court. And,
Yeah.
Okay. And you make money off of this, right?
Yeah.
Right, you make a lot of money off of this.
I honestly don't know.
Well, that's the question. Do you make a lot of money off of this?
What's a lot?
That's, how about you define that for me?
Right.
All right. And that's not something that, actually I'm not going to ask, I'm going to withdraw that question. Okay, Your Honor, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Any recross based on that?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, any redirect based on that?
No.
Right, Mr. Hudson, we go back to your attorney.
All right.
Defense rests.
Any rebuttal, or do you want to?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's going to call Officer Murphy to stand for rebuttal, but we also do need a sidebar to discuss a few
Okay.
things.
Well, let's do this. If you're gonna call Officer